All right, let's talk about something that's absolutely essential to every single building project, but it's usually hidden underground and out of sight: drainage and waste disposal. We're going to break down one of the most important parts of the building regulations in England, Approved Document H.
So here's the plan. We'll kick things off with what Approved Document H actually is, and then we'll walk through each of its 6 key parts, from foul water to rainwater, and even what to do about building over sewers. And then we'll wrap it all up by talking about what this means for actually complying with the rules.
Okay, first things first. Before we get into all the nitty-gritty of pipes and drains, you gotta understand where this document fits in the grand scheme of things. See, Approved Document H isn't just some random guide. It's a critical part of the whole system that governs construction in England.
Now, this is a super important point, and it's where a lot of people get tripped up. An approved document is not the law itself. The best way to think of it is as the official how-to manual. It gives you practical, ready-to-go solutions that help you meet the actual legal requirements.
This breaks it down perfectly. At the very top, you've got the law, the building regulations. That tells you what you have to achieve. Then in the middle, you have these approved documents, like our Part H, which show you how you can achieve it. You follow that guidance, and boom, you get to the final step, a compliant building. Simple as that.
All right, let's zero in on the star of the show, Approved Document H. Its official job is to cover drainage and waste disposal. For this explainer, we're looking at the 2015 edition, which is the one used in England, and it's all split into 6 main sections, H1 through H6.
Right, let's get into the weeds with section H1. This is all about managing foul water. And yeah, that's the official term for, well, exactly what you think it is. All the wastewater from your toilets, your sinks, your showers, the works. Getting this right isn't just a good idea, it's absolutely vital for health and safety.
Okay, pay close attention here, because this is a really big deal in section H1. This isn't just a list of suggestions, it's a strict, mandatory hierarchy. The rules say you must connect to a public sewer if it's at all possible. Why? Well, because it's simply the safest and most environmentally friendly option. Only if you can prove that's not feasible can you even start to consider moving down the list.
So that priority list naturally leads us to the next question, right? What happens if connecting to a public sewer just isn't in the cards? That's exactly where section H2 comes in, covering all the off-grid solutions like treatment systems and cesspools.
People mix these two up all the time, but the difference is massive. A septic tank is kind of like a mini treatment plant. It uses natural processes to break down waste before releasing the liquid to be filtered by the ground. A cesspool, on the other hand, it's just a big, sealed holding tank. It does zero treatment, it just holds everything until a tanker comes to empty it.
And this is really telling. The document itself points out that H2 isn't just about the usual health and safety stuff, like preventing bad smells. No, its main purpose is environmental protection. It's there to stop waste from contaminating groundwater and rivers. That's a huge responsibility.
And here's a practical number you'll want to remember from H2, 30 meters. The guidance says your septic tank or cesspool should be no more than 30 meters from where a vehicle can access it, and the reason for that is pretty straightforward. The giant tanker that has to come and empty it needs to be able to reach it with its hose.
Okay, so we've sorted out the foul water. But what about all the rain that hits your roof and your driveway? Well, that's called service water, and sections H3 and H5 are all about how to manage it. And they're built on one really important idea: keep it separate from the foul water.
You might think a gutter is just a gutter, but there's some real science to it. This table gives you a quick peek. The size of the gutter you need depends entirely on the size and even the pitch of the roof it's serving. It makes sense, right? A bigger roof catches way more water, so it needs a bigger gutter and a bigger outlet to stop it from overflowing in a heavy storm. And this is the whole point of H5. Separation, separation, separation. If there are separate public sewers for rainwater and foul water, you have to use them. Just think about it. If you dump a massive amount of rainwater into the foul sewer during a downpour, you risk overwhelming the system, and that can cause horrible backups and flooding. Nobody wants that. So, we've talked about all the new pipes and drains leaving the building, but what about the infrastructure that's already in the ground? What if you find out there's a sewer running right where you want to build your new extension? And what about just, the bins? And that brings us to our last couple of sections, H4 and H6. They cover 2 very different but very practical issues. H4 is all about the rules for building over or near existing sewers, and H6 deals with the everyday need for storing your household rubbish. Let's break these down.
For H4, it's all about one thing. Don't mess with the sewer. You have to make sure your building work doesn't damage it, and crucially, that you don't block access for future maintenance. As for H6, it's just common sense really. You need to design a proper spot for bins with enough space and make sure they're easy to get to for collection day.
All right, we've worked our way through all the technical bits, so let's zoom back out for the final and maybe most important takeaway. What does all this guidance actually mean when it comes to your project? Let's talk about compliance.
Now, if you only remember one thing from this whole explainer, make it this. If you follow the guidance in document H to the letter, you get what's called a presumption of compliance. It's the safe bet, but, and this is a big but, it's not the only way. The guidance isn't the law itself. You can choose a different method, but the responsibility is on you to prove that your way still meets the legal standard.
And there you have it, a whirlwind tour of approved document H. Now obviously this is just the tip of the iceberg, so if you want to get more detailed insights into the complex world of UK building standards and you want to keep up to date, check out the Building Regulations Copilot YouTube channel for more videos just like this one, and you can always visit buildingregulationscopilot.com for any queries.